Hello, my name is Mandy. I am with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is DocuSign 101. DocuSign is a signature platform. It's a place where most of you will be able to go and get your forms, edit them, and send them for signatures for your clients. It integrates right in with your command system so that you can work seamlessly with your command opportunities and your DocuSign platform. I'll be deep diving into that today to help you with that. If you're here with me live and you have any questions or comments, definitely put those in the chat. I'll be happy to get them answered for you in real time. If not, I'll stay a couple minutes after class to help get any of those answered then as well. And if you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us via email and we'd be happy to help. That email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com and we'll be happy to help. All right. So first things first, with DocuSign, it is important that it is a KW DocuSign Rooms account. It is a particular type of account that is compatible with Command. And you also want to make sure it's linked to your Command account prior to starting your Command opportunities. So that's what we're going to cover first. We're going to talk about the little bit of prep work ahead of time. So right here within your command, let me show you where you can go check on that connection. Right over here to the right, you would see your name and come down and click Settings. This brings you to your Applications page. This is where platforms like KW DocuSign would link or integrate with your command. In order for it to be a KW DocuSign Rooms account, it does need to be created from right within your own command account. So if you don't have an account yet, let me show you how to create one. You would come again right here to your name at the top right, Settings, and then you should see DocuSign listed right here under Digital Signature and Transactions if it's not connected yet. You can see that by it saying not connected. Over here to the right, you would click Connect Account. And right here on this particular page, you just want to make sure that your preferred first name and last name is filled out. And you would want to make sure your preferred email, the one that you want your DocuSign account created under, is filled in right here in this field. Once you do that, you can click Send Registration Email. What this is doing is sending a DocuSign invitation email to that email address that you just entered. You would need to get that email and follow the steps. It will prompt you to create your password for that DocuSign account, and it would complete the setup for you. This would create for you a KW DocuSign Rooms account. Okay. Now, let's say you already have an account, but it's just not linked here in Command. That's okay. I'm going to X out this little window and I'll show you how to get that DocuSign account linked to Command. It helps you in the long run if you do this before creating your your command opportunity. Okay. Just so it's all linked properly and syncs properly, you'll just want to make sure that your DocuSign account is linked to your command before creating the opportunity. Right here again, click your name in the top right, come to settings, brings you to this screen, and right here we would again click connect account. And this time you would just choose login here since you already have an existing KW DocuSign account, and you would enter your email right here in this blank here and click login to DocuSign. It will open up DocuSign if this is your first time doing it, and it wants you to enter the password for your DocuSign account. I was thinking that might be the wrong password. Just a second. It definitely looked too long when it pasted. There we go. So you put your password in. Pro tip, use the right password. And then you should get a banner at the top that says your DocuSign is now ready. Now we notice that our DocuSign has moved up underneath the connected apps portion of this page, and now it's showing in connected status. This is what you want to see before you start tackling your opportunities. Okay? All right, let's start talking about the next part, and that's how to actually get into your DocuSign room. So, for your opportunities, you would start creating that opportunity in your command first, and you will actually be able to access DocuSign through that opportunity. It is important to create that opportunity first and then access DocuSign through it, especially the first time that you're working on that opportunity. The reason for it is it will create a proper sync between your command and your DocuSign room so that information flows back and forth. You can seamlessly pull documents into your opportunity, and you can have opportunity information update directly into your DocuSign room and onto your forms. I'll demonstrate this to you as we move through class, but again, it's imperative. Make sure to go first through your opportunity to get into your DocuSign account for each transaction, especially the very first time that you're working on that transaction. So we're going to go ahead and go to an opportunity here and show you how to access that DocuSign account. If you haven't checked out our opportunities class just yet, definitely recommend that. It's kind of like a part one to this class. That class is called Opportunities and Sales Pipeline class. Our class archives are there on that YouTube channel that I shared earlier. Let me drop those links again in the chat just in case you missed them. But there's a class archive there called Opportunities and Sales Pipeline. You'll want to get the most recent one. We teach it every month, so look for the one that was just done in the last few weeks. And that way, if you have any questions about an actual opportunity, it will help answer the basics about that. I'm going to assume that you know how to create an opportunity. And so I'm going to go over here to our Opportunities tab, which is right here. It's two hands shaking. If you're not familiar with the icons yet, you can always click the red square and it will pop the names out for you. And you can always click it again to hide them. So we'll go to Opportunities here and we'll click Create an Opportunity. Go ahead and fill out the needed information. You can choose the type of opportunity that it is, choose your client, enter a co-seller if you need to. Again, just flying through this part because I'm assuming you know how to create an opportunity. And just make sure that the fields that have their red asterisks are completely filled out. And once you're ready, go ahead and click Create. So here we have our listing opportunity and we've just created it. And to get to our DocuSign room, a DocuSign room, by the way, is just a space within DocuSign for you to organize all of your files for this particular transaction. Think about it as a file folder. It's just called a room instead. To create that room for the first time, we're coming through our opportunity. We're going to our Documents tab right here. And right here, some market centers may have an extra step that others do not. So I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Right here is a compliance checklist. Some market centers have many checklists, and you need to choose the one that is appropriate for your type of transaction. Some of them may say residential listing, commercial, land, new construction. It just depends on your market center because they each make their own compliance list different. This particular market center, you can see, they just have one. It's residential, and it was already selected for me. But at this point right here, when you come to your Documents tab, you may need to come over here and make sure a particular type of compliance checklist is selected in order to move forward. Okay? So once you have that checklist selected. This is a brand new opportunity, so we're still in that getting listed phase. Right here, you get to see the documents that your market center will require or are optional. And some of them will say conditional. We don't have any for this particular market center, but you may see more of like a peach or orange colored label that would be beside a conditional form. This will help guide you on the forms that you will need for each step of your transaction. So, like we're on the listed tab right here. So, when you're putting this property, when you're getting everything signed to be a listing, these are the forms you would need. Once it goes under contract, you can click on the under contract tab and it will show you the forms that are needed for that. And then once it closed, you will also be able to see the forms that you need for that. Okay? We're going to revisit this in a little bit as we move through working on our DocuSign and our documents. But for now, we're going to leave it on the listed tab since we're just getting started. And now over here to the right, check out this Start a Transaction button. This is where you will start accessing your DocuSign account through your opportunity. The very first time you do it, it will say Start a Transaction. After you've already started the transaction, the button will now say Go to Transaction moving forward. That will be an indicator to you that you've already started that transaction, which creates that KW DocuSign Room. So I'm going to click Start a Transaction. It will spin. It should open. Yes, good. It's operating correctly today. It should open us a new tab, signs us into DocuSign, and creates that DocuSign room for us. This is that room. Let me zoom in so it's not so itty bitty. Ooh, there we go. And so what this is again, this is a DocuSign room inside your KW DocuSign account. Clicking that Start a Transaction button created this room for you in your DocuSign account. This is that critical step that I keep harping on that you'll want to make sure that you do originally through your opportunity to your DocuSign. Now that this DocuSign room is created, and I can come back over here to my opportunity and see that now it actually says Go to Transaction instead of Start, now you're good to go. You can go sign directly into DocuSign all day long if you need to. Jump on the DocuSign mobile app if you need to. You don't always have to go through your opportunity to get to the DocuSign room now that it's initially been created. Okay. But again, I can't emphasize this enough, so I'm going to say it again for you guys. When you're just starting a transaction, come through your opportunity first. Click Start a Transaction to make this DocuSign room the first time. Then, once you have that room created, you're good to go. But that is what is going to keep these two synced together and linked together properly to help save you some steps in the long run. And I'll show you what steps those are in just two shakes, okay? All right. So, we've made our DocuSign room. I want to pause here briefly and go over making sure that you have access to your forms in your DocuSign account. Now, if you were set up by us here at SLM, chances are you've already got this. Some market centers also will go into your DocuSign account and make sure that you have access to your forms. However, if you've just recently created this DocuSign account for yourself, and you need to make sure that you can access your office forms as well as your MLS board forms, I'm just going to touch on this briefly on how to make sure that you have those linked to your DocuSign correctly. Okay. This will apply to the majority of you that are here with me today. We do have some exceptions. Our Canadian agents, our California agents, and I believe it's Arkansas. Our Arkansas agents, they also do something a little different. You will get your forms directly from your MLS board. usually through either the board site itself or Zip Forms, or possibly like another platform. If that is you, you are in one of those special locations, your Market Center staff will be able to guide you on where to actually get access to your forms themselves. And the rest of the class will apply to you when we talk about how to get signatures on those forms. Okay. But this little part that I'm fixing to show you now, these are for our agents that are in any other state or location. And you actually get your board and your office forms from directly in your DocuSign account. Let me show you where to look for this. You'll come to your initials in the top right and go to Preferences. Over here, you'll click on Integrations on the left-hand side. And right here under DocuSign Form Settings, this is where you're going to get that access to those forms. If you don't see anything listed here yet, that's okay. Click Add Provider. And this little text right here at the bottom, it says continue to company forms without validation. If this has never been selected for you, it should show as a hyperlink. Ours has already been selected, so you can see it's a little grayed out. But if you've never selected this, it should be a hyperlink for you. And all you have to do is just click this link right here, and it will actually bring you back to this page and show company forms now listed under providers. These, in most cases, will be your Market Center forms that you'll use for your transactions. In most cases, you will also need to make sure that your board is integrated with DocuSign. You will do this using your NRDS number, otherwise known as your M1 number. That's your National Association of Realtors number that's specific to you. So you'll click Add Provider again. Choose which one is specific to you. Most cases, you'll just choose the general realtor right here, which is for the National Association of Realtors. At this point, it will ask you for your member ID. That's that M1 number or your NRDS number. If you already see your board or NAR listed under providers, you don't need to do this step. You would go ahead and add your NRDS number or M1 number here into your last name exactly as it appears on your real estate license, punctuation and everything, spaces, all the things. And then choose your association from this drop-down menu, the board that you actually joined. Once you're done, you would click Validate, and it will bring you back to this particular page. And now you should see company forms and NAR or your board listed right above it. That means both your MLS board forms and your Market Center forms are both integrated into your DocuSign, and you'll be able to use them moving forward for transactions. If you need any assistance with this at all, you can definitely reach out to us. We'll be happy to jump in here and get this squared away for you, okay? And if you run into any errors, you can definitely let us know. We can help troubleshoot those for you too. In some states or locations that would use zip forms to get your forms, notice that right here, you do have an option for zip forms. You can click this blue arrow, put in your zip form logins, and click Save. This will help pull documents directly from your zip forms account into your DocuSign so that you can get signatures. You also have a couple of other options down here at the bottom. If you want to link like your Google Drive to your DocuSign, you can go ahead and do that, toggle them on right here if you want to. That way you can pull documents directly from your Google Drive into your DocuSign account without having to manually download them on a device and then re-upload them. So that's just how you can go about making sure that you have access to the forms that you need to have access to. Next, let's talk about how to actually get that form into the DocuSign Room so that you can start editing it. So let's go back to our rooms tab right up here at the top. This is our new little guy that we just created this morning. This is one of those rooms. Each rectangle, by the way, is a room. So we'll click right here on our room and choose the Documents tab. Okay, how do we get a form here? There's multiple ways to get a form into your DocuSign room so that you can get ready to go ahead and edit it and fill in the details. The first option will be right over here with the Add button. DocuSign Forms. These are the ones you just integrated. This will be your Market Center forms and your board forms. So we'll choose DocuSign Forms. And over here on the left, you'll notice you have libraries. These are the entire collection of forms that are offered by those offices. So you'll see like this particular type of library. That's what it generally will look like if it's a market center. And then you have some boards. They usually show the initials for that board and then their full name, like Lynchburg Association of Realtors and so on, Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors. And so these are the libraries. When we click on these, it will be all the forms that particular office provides and all the forms that that board provides. Then at the top, you'll have some helpful packets. These are, again, like file folders for specific types of transactions to, again, help guide you on what forms that you may need and to make it a little easier to come in here and locate them. So like this, LAR, that was the name of our board. So the board created a little listing packet. So we can click on that and see the forms that are needed for a listing, buyer, purchase, and so on. You can click show more if needed, and you can see all the packets that have been created to help you out. How do we find the forms? Over here on the right-hand side, you will see them listed. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Market Center. There we go. And we'll do, actually, let me just do the listing up here. We'll grab a listing packet and use these forms. These should have enough blanks for me to demonstrate for you. So when searching for that form, you can just scroll the list if you'd like, if you're good at identifying them by their specific name. If you have any questions about whether it's that exact form, you can click the eyeball to preview it. Do not be alarmed that it says sample form. That is only because you're previewing it, and that will go away once you add the form to your room. Close the preview, and let's say that's definitely the one that we want, so we'll go ahead and check the box. Notice that this little pop-up is right here under templates. You can create templates for common forms that you use. Let's say you always use this particular form when you're doing a listing, and some information will always stay the same, like your name, your phone number, your board information, or your office information. You can create templates within DocuSign to help apply that information automatically to the form every time so you don't have to fill it in. We have tip videos available on our YouTube channel that go over how to create those templates if you're interested in doing that. That's a little advanced, a little beyond what we would consider DocuSign 101. So I just wanted to tell you about it because it's popping up right here and I can choose a particular template I have, but we just don't have the time to deep dive into creating those. So if you're looking to do that, check out those YouTube channel tip videos we have on our site. The link is in the chat. So we can select this document, but let's say I need another document. So I'm going to go over here to another library, and maybe you just know one specific word in the name, but you're not sure of the whole name. You can begin looking that up here. Put in any kind of word that you need to. Keep searching for your document. I'm just demonstrating to you that you can use the search bar to find those documents. And once you do, you can go ahead and select the checkbox beside those of which ones you need. Notice over here on this tab, selected to, it keeps track of which ones you've already selected. And you can just toggle over here if you need to eyeball that again just to see, okay, I've already grabbed these two. Let me go back and browse and grab some more. Once you're done, just click Add Selected, and it will add those forms to your room for you. That's one way. That's DocuSign Forms. These are forms created by your office or your MLS. They are blue right here where it says DocuSign Form. That means all the blanks are already there on the form for you. All you got to do is type in the information. But there's other ways to add documents into your room. I'm going to show you another way here. You can come back over to your Add button and you can bring in forms from any of those options that cloud options that you chose, like from Box, Dropbox, or Google. You can pull in forms that way. You can also pull in a form from your device. You can drag and drop a form. Let me pull my file folder over here from my device. And let's say like this is a PDF. I could literally just drag and drop it into the room if I need to. And last but not least, you have a dedicated inbox in your DocuSign account where you can email forms into your DocuSign so that you don't always have to, again, manually download, manually upload. You can come right here to your inbox. This over here in the top left is your unique DocuSign email. Go ahead and save that in your contacts for yourself. This way, on the go, if you've got, let's say you actually have the buyer, listing agent sends you over the property disclosure and things like that that are going to be needed to get signed. You have it in your inbox for your KW email. Well, instead of having to download it and upload it into DocuSign, you can just forward that email with the PDFs attached and just forward it over here to your particular DocuSign email. They will end up here in your inbox. And once you have them listed here in your inbox, you will see options to move them over automatically to the room that you want them to be in. Just a little handy dandy helpful thing right here in your DocuSign form to help you get forms added into your DocuSign room. Let's go back to our room. Click on our room and go to our Documents tab again, just navigating back. We just covered how to add those forms into your DocuSign room. Now that they're here, how do you edit them? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you how you can edit your forms here that are in your DocuSign room. They will depend, or the way you edit them will depend on the type of form it is. Remember these little guys that we actually got from our DocuSign Forms libraries? They actually have the blue box right here that says form on each of them. That is a DocuSign form. That means the fields are already added to the form itself. All you have to do to edit them is click on the document. And once it opens, any second now, you can just put your cursor here and start filling in the data into the different fields that are already on your document. Okay, just begin typing. Okay, once you're done entering the data into the DocuSign forms that way, you can just choose Save and Close, and that form has now been edited. Sending it for signatures is the second step we're going to cover in just a second. That's how you edit the DocuSign form. But what about all the other forms, like the one that I just dropped in to the room, or maybe pulled in from my device, or pulled in from Google Docs, or maybe I pulled it in from my DocuSign inbox? Those will come into the room as a red PDF. Right here, you'll see the little red box that says PDF. This means it's a flat document. It won't have those fields already added onto the document itself. So when you go to make edits to those particular flat PDFs, the one that show in red, to add fields and to make edits to those particular documents, you will do that once we create what's called an envelope. When you're creating the envelope, this is when you're sending it for signatures. So again, just to cover this clearly, to edit your documents, to change the information that's on the documents. If it's a DocuSign form, you do it right here in the DocuSign room by clicking on these forms and changing the fields right here in the DocuSign room. If it's a red PDF and you need to change something, add something, select something, you will wait until we create the envelope and you will actually add those fields when you're in your envelope. Okay? So two different ways to edit the forms. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. I want to make sure I'm being super clear. Also, when you're editing your forms, there's a couple of ways to make sure that the information is added into the Details tab of your opportunity and the Details tab of your DocuSign room. And that way, you're not constantly having to re-enter the same information on all the documents. You just make sure the details are filled out in your Opportunities Detail tab and your DocuSign Rooms tab, and that information will feed directly onto your DocuSign form documents. Let me show you what I mean. We'll go back over here to our Command Opportunity, and we have a Details tab right here. Any of the information that you can fill out on this Details tab can be synced to your DocuSign room and will populate on your DocuSign forms automatically for you, saving you time. This is that sync I kept mentioning earlier that was so imperative that would save you time. This is the benefit of it. So you can come right here to your Details tab, and for your property information, if it's a listing opportunity, you can select the listing right here from the KWLS, or you can just click the pencil right here and begin entering your address information. So we'll just say 321 Main Street. You can choose an address from the drop down. It will fill out the other fields for you. You can choose the property type, resale, and then you can click save. There we go. So now that I've edited my property details, notice that they now say edited where some of them say synced. This means I've made some updates on my details tab. Now I need to make sure they're synced over to my DocuSign room so that they will populate on my DocuSign forms correctly. So you can just click sync. Click update. Takes it a second, gives you that green banner. Notice they still say edited. It's just because we need to hit refresh. Now that we've refreshed on our browser, you should now see all your information as synced, which means it is now all populated over to our DocuSign room and will populate on your DocuSign forms correctly for you. Okay? You can fill in as little or as much as you want here within your Details tab. This is something within an opportunity I just highly recommend you keep updated is your Details tab. Anything and everything to do with that opportunity, it will only help you in the long run. Now let's go back over to our DocuSign room. I'm going to hit refresh since we just did a sync, just to make sure our room is now populated with that information as well. And I'll show you the Details tab here within your DocuSign room. Now the information from our opportunity, you can see populated already. There's our address right here within the location information. It also has our contacts information added in as well. This Details tab will update based on what you put on your Opportunity Details tab, and then when you choose Sync, it will update automatically. There are, however, some extra blanks, extra fields on this Details tab, the one in your DocuSign room. So you can scroll down if you really just want to keep incredible records, keep everything documented. You can come in here, click the edit button at the top right, and fill in any of these extra fields that you want to have filled in. Okay? It only helps. It will also pre-populate on your DocuSign forms for you so that you have less to fill in once you're editing your forms. Okay? So those are just some shortcuts to help save you some steps whenever you're having to add data to your forms. Now that we've edited our DocuSign forms, I'm going to come right here to our Documents tab again. Let's say we've already edited these, we've added everything we need. Can't touch this little guy, the little flat PDF, because no fields are added to him yet. But we are ready to go ahead and send this for signatures and make changes to those flat PDFs. When you're ready to do that, you want to make an envelope. You would select the forms that you want to be included in the envelope and notice a little hidden menu populated. To create that envelope, we would choose this pin right here, and that would create us a digital envelope where we can go in, pick our recipients, and make any last minute changes to our forms. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. All right. And so once you're here, you can click that pin to go ahead and make that envelope. I do want to point out a couple of little other items on this hidden menu, though, that can be of assistance to you later, like make a copy of a form. You also have a print option. You can also combine PDF forms into one document. And you also have an archive option and a delete option. Okay, so you may find those very helpful as you're moving through and navigating DocuSign in the future. Just wanted to show you they are right here in the hidden menu. To get that hidden menu to show, you literally just have to have a form selected. So I'm going to just select my form again, and you see that it reappears. Okay? All right, so we've got our forms selected. These are the ones that we want to send to our recipient first. So we'll go ahead and click Pin to create that envelope. It's going to ask you who are in the roles that you would like to send this to. So for these particular forms, they already have signature spots for these particular roles. So are any of these people or roles who you're going to send the envelope to? So we'll say yes, say we're the listing agent, so you can go ahead and add that in. And we're also sending this to the seller, so you can go ahead and add their role to this envelope as well. And click continue. You don't have to select any roles, guys, but it does help make sure that the signature boxes are on the envelope for you appropriately. This part can take a moment. It shouldn't be taking this long of a moment, though. Wait and see if it'll update. I may need to back out and do it again. There it goes. And again, typically it shouldn't take that long. That may have been a glitch on my end. But what you're seeing now is you actually in the envelope creating it, okay? So right here at the top, you have documents. It's the same ones you just selected. Notice that I can view and preview if I need to, and I'm going to specifically show you this because a lot of confusion is surrounding this. If you click view right here, don't panic that you don't see data that you added. This is just another preview, and so it looks blank. Just trust that the document you grabbed and added into the envelope is really the one with the data. I'll show you how to double check that on the next step. So you can preview it if you need to. You can also drag and drop these guys in different orders if you want them to be in a different order in the envelope. If you forgot anybody, you can come over here and upload more forms again if you need to. And maybe you grabbed one that you don't need. You do have a little X at the top if you just need to remove one. Once you've got your documents in the order that you want, you've got them all here, go ahead and scroll down to the recipients area Now remember, we chose two roles, right? We chose the listing agent and the seller one. So you can see that it went ahead and added those particular people to the envelope for us. So we can see listing agent right here, and they need to sign. That's already selected. And then the seller, and it's already selected for them to need to sign. It will ask you for the name and for the email if you need to manually add someone in. You can always add more right here if you need to add more. You also have different options than just need to sign. I want to show you this drop down right here just so you can see all the things that this can do for you. Maybe you need someone that just needs to receive a copy of it. There's that option. Needs to view. This option I really like a lot. Back when I was in production a million years ago, we had a regulation in our particular area that the contract was not technically binding until the fully signed document had returned to the other agent and was accepted, like time stamped, and viewed. DocuSign will do that for you. You can set that other agent as needs to view, and they have to, it will timestamp it when they actually open the documents and view them. It will timestamp it for you so you know exactly what time and date that they saw that executed contract or that offer or whatever it is that you need them to look at. Okay. So you have several options here. Just notice that you can come in here and get a lot done with DocuSign, not just get signatures. With the order of the signers, you don't have to have a signing order set on. Notice it's checkboxed. And so it has it going to the listing agent first. And then when the listing agent signs, it will go back to the seller or go to the seller as signer number two. If you want it to go out to everybody first in one blast, just uncheck set signing order and it will go to everybody separately at their own time immediately. If you need it to go in a particular order, like one person needs to be filling out something before somebody else initials that it's correct, if that's the case, go ahead and set your signing order. And you can drag and drop these guys in different orders if you want to. Just notice sometimes the signing order numbers don't automatically change for some reason, or then they get goofy and change themselves to 3 and 4s when you only have two people. Bless it. Hopefully this will get resolved in DocuSign one day, but for now, just come back and just change your little numbers. Okay? So we'll leave this 1 and 2. Once you get your signing order or your recipients in order, come on down to the bottom of this page, and this is where you can address your message to them. It is set up to send the same subject line, the same email subject line right here to everybody, and the same message. So if that's what you want, you're fine with that, leave it as it is, or you can come in here and edit the words. Maybe that's just too long. You want to add something else. Enter a message here as well. But if you want it to be different for each person that's going to receive it so that you have very specific instructions to give or a comment that you need to make, you can choose custom email and language for each recipient. And now it breaks it out to the envelope that will specifically go to our listing agent. You can choose the language, the email subject and message for them. And then you come on down and now you will adjust that envelope that goes specifically to the seller. You would see options for every single recipient that you have listed on your envelope in this case. Okay. Once you're done adjusting and customizing your envelopes, click Next. This is that space where you get to make one more check over your documents and you can make edits to those PDF forms, the forms that you either emailed into DocuSign or brought in from a device or a cloud platform. Okay. Important things to notice on your screen from right here is on the left, you will see your different signers and they are color coded. One's blue, one's green. You might see yellow or green. This will just help you keep it organized with whose fields you're adding to these forms. So we'll leave it on our listing agent for now. Your building blocks are on the left. If we need to drag over a signature box, you can do that. If you need to add name, email, text box, radio button, all your tools are over here on the left. What you're seeing in the center of your screen are the forms that you have in this envelope. This first one was a DocuSign form. Remember, it had the fields already on the document for you. While it says text right here, that's for your benefit so that you can see there's literally nothing in that particular field yet. So you may need to go ahead and add it. But once this document goes out to your signers, those fields won't even show. It won't show just text there. To be able to view a preview of what your recipients will see, up here, you have a preview button in the top right. I'm going to go ahead and click that to show you. This is what a preview would look like. You can view desktop, uh, iPad or tablet, and then mobile. Okay, so that you can see what it will look like. And you can toggle to see which signer will see what if you want to view that. Okay, very important to notice. See how it doesn't show the blank fields. So all those little confusing boxes do go away and it looks a little better. Just want to make sure you see that. Once you're done with your preview, you can hit X in the top right and it brings you back to your editing. I do want to point out a couple of quick things here for the DocuSign forms. When you scroll down to signature fields, they should already be there for you. I'm going a little too fast for the system today. There it is. So again, notice that our seller was green. And so you can see the seller boxes, date signed, and the signature already added. And we can already see our blue for our listing agent or us. The boxes are already here. For you, the agent, if you do need to sign something, you do need to add yourself as a recipient on the envelope and go through the same steps that your clients would to get the email, open the email, and follow through with signing your forms as well. That's how you're going to get your signature on your DocuSign forms. So you just include yourself as a recipient, okay? This is a DocuSign form. Again, fields are already added. You can add additional ones if you need to. Maybe up here on the radio buttons, you want to go ahead and select that for this person. You can go ahead and add initials if you need to. So you can just drag and drop fields over as you would like and resize them. Okay. So you have the ability to do that on DocuSign forms. I do want you to notice over here in the right-hand corner that like the initial box is highlighted and it already has it as a required field. But if we touch like the radio button right here, it's not necessarily a required field. Let me get one that we've added in here, not one that's pre-populated. Hold on. If you add a radio button onto the field, there we go. Now it shows us. If you add a radio button or a checkbox, something that needs to be selected, right? You have options over here on the right to say that this is a required field or read only. Required field means that that recipient is going to have to either select this or complete it in some way, shape, or form to complete the signing of their document. So they need to like select this to confirm a disclaimer or a disclosure saying that they're agreeing with it, right? Or you can go ahead and have this be read only and select it for them if you need to. You have to double click it. It's a little tricky to get it to select. But I just want to make sure you see that when you select that, you have options to make it required or read only. Okay. Next, our flat PDF. Let's scroll down and look at that form really quick. This was the PDF that I uploaded from our device. It does not have any forms on it, right? Because it's a flat PDF. To add fields to this, you would simply drag and drop your building blocks. So let's say the seller and the listing agent both need to sign this. So I'm going to put their signature block here for my seller, make it as little or as big as you want. We'll add a date signed block underneath it. swap over to our listing agent in the top left. And now that I have their blue building blocks, I can add their signature with their date signed. And again, any other building blocks that you need to, like you can easily add a text box, double click in it, type whatever you need to. Okay. Fill in whatever you need to fill in and add it to those PDFs. Okay. Once you're done, once you've edited the PDFs like you need them to be, and your DocuSign forms look good, they have all the information that you needed them to have, you're ready to go ahead and send the envelope to get signatures. You have a couple of options down here in the bottom right-hand corner. You can send it now, or you can send later and add a delay. It's whatever you need to do. You also have under actions an option just to save and close if you need to come back and revisit this later, if you don't want to send it just yet. We're going to choose the save and close option just to save it as a draft since we're not literally sending a demo envelope out. And right here in your room, in your envelopes, you will see these envelopes here and you will get to watch their process. At any time, you can click on them and see exactly where they are, see whose inbox they're in, see if they've even looked at them or opened them, see if they're in process of signing, all the things. So you may need to track those from time to time. You can always just come right here to your envelopes tab and check on that status, okay? Once they're done, once you've gotten a confirmation email that that envelope is complete and all the documents are signed, you can come in here to your DocuSign room, and right here in your Documents tab, you will see additional documents, same name, same document, but it will show a green signed icon on it right here to indicate to you that it is that form, but it's the signed version. Okay? So you'll have your documents here signed within your Documents room. How do you get them submitted to your Market Center for compliance? Now, to do that, you would come back to your opportunity. In your opportunity, you would go to your Documents tab, and each time, each part of the transaction, like for this listing opportunity, once you've gotten that listed, once it goes under contract, and once it's closed, each time, each event, you will need to submit the forms to your Market Center for compliance. Okay? Yes, I see that direct message. This recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel by the end of the day today. However, the archive is already there. If you want to go check out the YouTube channel, if you guys need to dip out early, you can always go grab that archive on our YouTube channel. Okay. It'll be called DocuSign 101. So right here on our listing tab, let's go ahead and add our documents here. You can add them directly from DocuSign. Once they're signed, you can just click the select, and a signed document or PDF will show in this drop-down menu for you to select. So we'll just select our PDF there. It'll turn green in a second. There it goes. For our next form, let's say that one's actually on our device. It's not in DocuSign. So we can choose My Computer instead of DocuSign. And from here, I can browse to pull it off of my device, or just like before, I can literally just drag and drop it from my device into my opportunity. Okay. Once you get all of your documents added, notice that it's changing it from not uploaded to now uploaded. Once you have all of your documents in uploaded status, you'll want to come right here and click Submit to MC. This will send it over to your Market Center for compliance. They will either approve it or let you know that they have questions or need something extra done. You'll get notifications within command, your command bell, but you'll also see it right here in the opportunity too if you need to fix something or something's not quite right yet. You'll want to do that again every time when it's enlisted, when it's gone under contract, you'll come here, add your documents back again. Okay, drop those in. And once you have all your forms uploaded for the under contract, you can go ahead and click Submit to MC again. Once it's closed, submit to MC again. Okay? And that's it, guys. That is our DocuSign 101 class. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. If you're here with me live and you have any questions at all, please go ahead and drop those in the chat. I will be happy to help get those answered for you. If you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us via email, and that is support@scottleroymarketing. I'm going to say it again, so I messed it up. That is support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thanks for watching, guys.